back to Cybertopia. It's been a while since we last saw Clarity, played by Basil, who disappeared into the hidden retreat of the Intranet of Things quite a ways back after their encounter with Tamper at the big junkyard. But now Frankie's gone off in search of them after being turned away from the lead bank. Let's find out what Clarity and their little drone buddy Whisper got up to all this time. No voice actors this episode, but stick around at the end to hear a promo for kid-friendly dragon game Little But Fierce from friend of the show DC Bradshaw. Last we saw of Clarity, they were leaving the junkyard with Nox and Maurice. And I think Whisper has been, though they seem to be mostly back in action, still seems to be fritzing out a little bit, I think. So you were wanting to pop into the Intranet of Things, and that's kind of where they last got looked at by all of the machines and robots and things down there. It's kind of a tech cave. It's just an underground lair of all sorts of machines that have been kind of hidden away by the ARC to have some sort of almost like a robot's retreat. And they go down there and they have their kind of rehab and disconnect from the wider internet and connect with each other and try and help each other out. So you've been here before. I think it was immediately before you went to the junkyard. So you can easily get back in and reacquaint yourself with all the machines and things down there. I assume you've got Whisper just kind of following along?
Yeah, I think Clarity kind of is like has Whisper a little closer than usual just because Whisper's not back up to like 100%, and otherwise I feel like Whisper will start wandering off and kind of just like keep wanting to switch into party mode and shoot off confetti if like Clarity's not keeping a close eye. Like, nah, I don't even know where you're getting all this confetti. You shouldn't have confetti in you. I don't and every time Clarity goes to check, cannot find any confetti, and yet as soon as they look away, it's just streamers and glitter again, and it's just like, okay, I don't.
The disco ball is coming out the bottom of it again.
Yeah, it's like, where did you get a disco ball? Like, what is like? How does that fit in there?
I don't know. You got very distracted when you were in the lead bank and first trying to fix up Whisper. But yeah, you must have put all sorts of things in there. When you decided against the panini press, you were like, oh, a confetti cannon still works, right? Like, it can double up as a weapon or something. Okay, so you're hanging out at the Intranet of Things. I assume that as soon as you get down there, Whisper's going to make a beeline for like a group of machines that they particularly connected with before. What does Clarity do down there whilst, I don't know, whatever Whisper is doing, having a little robot party?
I think probably once Whisper goes off, Clarity just reminds them, play nice, don't be mean, don't bully the smart toaster, just, they're doing their best.
You're like the childminder.
Essentially, until Whisper gets better, it's like, okay, we'll just roll with this. It's kind of like babysitting. Clarity has never babysat in their life, and they're like, this is probably what I assume babysitting is like. It's probably 1-to-1 between, drones and humans. That's, this will work.
I guess that's actually quite an apt sort of description, actually, because with the whole kind of reset to Whisper, it's like they're reset to factory settings, so it's like they're being like turned back into a baby in robot form.
Yeah, they have to hit all those developmental milestones again.
Yeah, the teething's going to be a shit.
I think Clarity themselves, I think now that there's a bit more time and they know that Whisper is, mostly functioning, I think they're looking around again and kind of just like nodding and waving at like a few of the machines, and definitely learn their lesson from last time and isn't like trying to like poke and prod around and like, respect the objects, like, autonomy and privacy, and just, I think just vibing, honestly, just trying to like enjoy the moment of like, it's like, yeah, we're technically like considered dead by, the corporation and everything, and we're kind of on the run and trying to survive. But you know what? These machines have found a place and a community for themselves down here, and so why can't we? And just trying to like, internalize and reflect on that and just kind of chill.
Yeah, it's your little haven. And I guess like Clarity is so at home with machines that this does probably feel more comfortable to them than being amongst a whole bunch of people, right?
Yeah, it's a lot quieter for one, so it's just like the usual gentle hum of electronics that they're used to. So they're like, oh, okay, yeah, this is cozy.
Yeah, an occasional disco in the corner.
Yeah.
Would there be any particular machine or group of machines? Probably they're in cliques or something of robots down there. You've got like the appliances and then you've got the comms machines or something. Like, would there be a type of technology that Clarity would be drawn to?
I think Clarity would probably be drawn to devices that are like for communication, like walkie-talkies, voice recorders,
Hmm.
maybe like a kind of like old-ish computer, something that's like used to like, reach out to others, that sort of thing. Not because Clarity wants to talk to anyone in particular. They're just fascinated by like, it's like, oh, is this the group responsible for like making sure all the other machines can talk to each other and like how far is your reach and what are you working with, that sort of thing.
Okay. Okay. I think, yeah, you can kind of set yourself up in a little area of the commune with these kind of comms machines and hang out. You say you don't want to talk to them or anything, or you said you're not poking around or anything. Are you going to examine any of them or like try and work out anything about any of them or anything like that?
Yeah, by like not talk to, I mean like Clarity doesn't want to talk to like another human person, but is like super interested in talking
Oh,
to the
okay, okay.
machines. It's just like they don't want to like try to contact anyone. They just want to chill down here.
I see. I see. Okay, cool. Let's have a machine connectivity kind of role then.
I have technology and tech resonance.
That should work nicely with this.
Okay. I got a 6 on the die.
So it's a 9 total. This isn't a dangerous situation or anything like that. You're not going to get in trouble from having rolled low on it. But I think you're maybe struggling to make a connection with these machines. Probably that you're used to a higher level of technology than what they're functioning at. And they're not on the internet. So you can't use your normal internet protocols to communicate with them. But I think you probably notice like a one specific machine that is struggling to connect with anyone or anything. And like so the others all chatting amongst themselves and you're not able to get in there to get involved in their conversations, whatever they're conversing about. But you notice that there's another machine that is just not getting involved at all. And I think you probably get drawn to that one because you're not able to get involved. They're not able to get involved. And maybe you sit next to this, maybe it's like a fax machine. And you sit with this fax machine for a bit and just kind of do that thing that kind of the left out kids do where they just kind of sit next to each other and don't really do anything or say anything, just be with each other.
Yeah, I think so, definitely. Like, I think Clarity probably like nods and it's just like, and that kind of solidarity of, yeah, they don't want to talk to me either, but that's okay. And
Yeah.
just kind of sits down next to the fax machine and like maybe like reaches out a hand for a second to give like a friendly pat, but then is like, oh, I didn't get permission to do that, and just kind of slowly lowers their hand and just kind of nods again instead.
The comfortable silences. And I think probably this goes on for a little while, and then after a period, you hear a cacophonous noise come flying towards you, and it's Whisper, just having the time of their life. Disco lights on, probably like boombox speakers out, and they bring over a whole lot of noise, and all of the comms machines get really irate that there's this very noisy thing coming over into their space. But Whisper just kind of charges into you.
Yeah, like I think Clarity just kind of laughs and just kind of gives like Whisper like a loving pat, and it's just like, oh, you having a good time, buddy? You partying? You look like you're having fun. Okay, try not to get too rowdy. I don't want to have to try to fix something if you dent your outside again. I don't have a mallet on me. Try to stay away from the walls.
I think he's like burying himself into you. They're nuzzling into you and just being very kind of overly affectionate. It's not like Whisper used to be, where they were just kind of doing their thing. This is like a more childlike Whisper, and maybe tries to. It doesn't have any appendages or anything, does it? Like I guess they're trying to get you to move, get you to go somewhere. Like I was going to say they grab your hand, but they can't grab, can they?
No, but it's probably like a kind of like a nudging motion, like what
Mhm.
dogs do when they keep butting their head against you, or like cats.
Yes, that's exactly it. Yeah, definitely. And they very clearly want you to go back to where they came from and join the party.
In a minute, buddy. In a minute. And Clary's gonna kind of turn to the fax machine and be like, "You wanna come with? I'm sure it's we can have some fun. Talk about paper weight, right? That's a thing fax machines like. I think.
You like toner? I like toner. Okay, let's have a persuasion roll, and it can include your tech stuff.
Okay, let's see. Ooh, nice. That was an 18 on the die.
Oh yeah, lovely. Okay, I think you see the lid of the fax machine just kind of flap open a bit and does the little kind of fax noise, and it sounds like a confirmation kind of beep.
Great, great. Okay. And Clarity kind of awkwardly kind of starts like picking up the fax machine and just
Yeah,
kind of
I
saying,
was gonna say it
sorry,
doesn't have
sorry,
legs.
you don't quite have legs, but don't worry, I'll find somewhere nice and stable to set you back down over near the party.
Yeah.
Kind of like close to, not like in the dead center, because I feel like that'd be overwhelming for the fax machine and Clarity, but like, kind of like one of like a middle ring outer area of like whatever's going on over there. So like if needed, you could still hear the fax machine if they want to like bail and go somewhere quieter.
Yeah, okay. So you carry the fax machine over to like be next to this party kind of area, and yeah, there's a full on robot disco going on in here, and there's blenders just whizzing around, and maybe a couple of other little drones that Whisper has taken a particular liking to, and they've formed their own little gang, and there's music machines and light machines and all sorts going on. And yeah, the fax machine seems comfortable enough where you've put them. They're not indicating that they want to get in any further, but they're happy where they are. And Whisper's gone back to join their friends. They're happy that you've come over to be in the same sort of vicinity. What is Clarity going to do in this area?
I think, like, out of respect for the party vibes, Clary's gonna be like, yeah, woo, and kind of like dance a little bit and be like, yeah, hey, check out this fax machine. The fax machine can really lay down a beat. It's not, I don't think Clarity's musically inclined, but it's like trying to like make some noises that would go well with a fax machine. It's kind of like the fax noise.
Oh, this is great. Yeah, love it. Just vibing. The whole thing's a nice vibe, and I'm not. It's not like a rave. It's not overly raucous. It's not going to be like. It's probably a bit overstimulating compared to what Clarity's used to, but it's fine. It's like a kids' disco, right? Like the kids are having fun, and the adults are able to just sit at the side and watch and kind of like tap their foot along to the noises and stuff. So it's all good. And I think after a while, you start to realize you've not eaten since that diner, like yesterday, day before. Well, like how long ago was it you ate? You can't even remember. And because it's all dark down here, there's no natural light. You're like, I don't even know how much time has passed.
Yeah, I feel I probably like up to that point, Clarity's just been having fun, and then like suddenly while they're like trying to dance, they're like, "Whoa, wait, I'm actually super hungry."
Does that thing where they
Uh,
stand up from a seating position and then suddenly it's like, oh, I'm lightheaded. Why? Oh shit,
yeah,
yeah, that's
like
right.
everything's kind of a little fuzzy at the edges. I think Clarity's like, "Hey, Whisper, I don't really remember what else I put in you since you apparently have disco balls and glitter. You got any snacks in there, like some snack cakes or some chips?"
Okay, let's have a whisper roll.
Nice. Okay.
I forget, what did we prepare whisper to? Was it a +1 or a +2?
Let me look at my character sheet. Whisper is at a 1 for
Okay.
deer. And I wrote functional in parentheses, but
Yeah.
I rolled 17.
Roll a 17? Okay.
Yeah.
So I think Whisper does like an excited twirl, disappears off into some mess of cabling somewhere behind a whole bunch of machines, and comes back with a panini press hanging off of them and brings it over to you and places it down. And there is a panini inside it. And like, the panini press is not attached to Whisper. It's just like they've somehow carried it over to you. And they've gone off and found a panini press. They remembered that there was talk of a panini press when they were first brought back. And you can have yourself a little panini. And I'll also say that with that role and with this experience and stuff, that you can upgrade Whisper to a +2 drone now.
Nice. Whisper is now Panini certified.
Yeah, so I think like you'll be able to now send Whisper off to find you things, and they can come back, and like if you need a sandwich, they can go and get you a sandwich from somewhere. Or like if you want them to collect, I don't know, some small tech, like something that would be small enough that Whisper could physically carry. But yeah, you can send them off on little errands, and they'll be able to do that and come back.
Nice. I do think Clarity is probably going to look at that panini with like a bit of suspicion because it's like, this isn't plugged in. I'm not entirely sure why there's just a fully loaded, assembled, and cooked panini in here. But I'm also so hungry that I don't care. So
Yeah.
Clarity will eat it, but it's like, there is that moment of like, oh, okay, a panini press. What do I, oh, there's a sandwich in here. Oh, how long has the sandwich been in here? It's probably fine.
I think like there's some sort of like futuristic vending machine kind of technology, right? That they can 3D print food or something like that. You know, like the food printers that they have on Star Trek. It's probably something a bit like that. They can just replicate some food or something.
True, but I always found myself wondering, like, okay, sure, they can like print the food, but printing implies like a tube, and how often are you supposed to replace like what is basically the cartridge of that machine? Like, when was that installed?
Yeah, very valid. But yeah, I mean, you're hungry, so you're eating it anyway. I think they probably have some sort of plumbing down here so they can get a water supply to cool the units and stuff. Otherwise, it would be extremely hot down in this cave at the moment. So you're able to get some food and drink and chill out with this party for a bit. Eventually, though you don't have any idea what time of day it is, you're probably going to fall asleep and come to the next day. And does Whisper settle down next to you when you sleep? What does Whisper do when you're sleeping?
I feel like probably initially, like Clarity went to get comfortable and go to sleep and be like, "Hey, come on, buddy, it's bedtime." And Whisper was like, "Oh yeah, 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 definitely, definitely, just a few more minutes," and like just kept like flying over and like, "Yeah, I'm gonna nap. Oh wait, no, 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 actually, I want to hang out." So I just kind of going back and forth until Clarity was like, "Okay, buddy, when you get tired, you can come back over here because Clarity cannot keep their eyes open." So I think like Clarity fell asleep, and I think at some point, finally, Whisper like tucked in next to them, but it was very much like when a small child is like, "Oh yeah, it's nap time," but I swear I have like a bunch of energy and is zooming
Yeah,
around until finally when they finally stop, they just kind of flump over and fall asleep. I think it was like that with Whisper, like suddenly slowing down and being like, "Oh yeah, I should probably go into sleep mode for a bit. Oh look,
every
here's a
time
good
you're
spot to
just about
nap."
to doze off, Whisper comes and like nudges into you and wakes you up. As oh, no, I was nearly gone, but eventually it just settles down. Okay, so you wake up the next morning feeling surprisingly refreshed, having only eaten a panini and drunk water, but you're okay. And Whisper is well, still quite childlike behaving, but is like fully functional, happy, and seems to be following commands quite nicely. What are you doing the next day? You spent like 24 hours in this kind of tech bunker now.
I think probably like one of the first things Clarity does is like touch up their braids a bit. Because I imagine like sleeping on the ground is not exactly the most conducive for braids. So just kind of fixing up the edges and like not like redoing the braids, but you can like touch them up a little bit with some hair oil to cut down on the frizziness, and then just like piling them back up on top of their head
Mhm.
because they definitely let them down for some sleeping, and just kind of just dusting themselves off and doing a few stretches, and it's like, okay, all right, Whisper, we had a lot of fun down here. I mean, I know I did. It was nice and quiet, but like party time's over. We gotta stop tyranny and, capitalism and save the world, or we gotta go find the others, honestly, first off. But we gotta go. So say goodbye to all your friends, okay?
Okay, it probably takes way too long, but Whisper goes round and like nudges into all their pals and exchanges some electronic zappings and stuff, and eventually comes back to your side and gets coaxed probably out of the door, but you eventually get them out onto the surface.
Do you want to introduce your kids to the world of role-playing games, but don't know where to start? Then check out Little But Fierce, the upcoming rewrite of 5th edition for kids as young as 6. With streamlined rules, accessible language, and a family-friendly tone, it's the perfect gateway game into the hobby we know and love. Little But Fierce by DC Bradshaw. Kickstarting in March 2026. Follow the pre-launch page now.